Hello, welcome to the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. Here are some stats that highlight a problem that most parents, especially parents of young girls, worry about. If your daughter is between the age of 5 and 12, 40 to 60% of girls her age worry about their weight. By the age of 9, more than 50% of girls express concerns about their body shape. Children as young as 5 start expressing concerns about their weight or shape. Invariably girls. And more than 50% of girls aged 6 to 8 report being unhappy with their body weight. Today, it's a tricky question that we're answering from one of our listeners about body image and helping girls to feel good about their bodies. Stay with us. Hello and welcome to the Happy Families podcast, where you get real parenting solutions every single day. This is Australia's most downloaded parenting podcast. We are Justin and Kylie Coulson. And every Tuesday on the Happy Families pod, we answer your tricky questions. It doesn't matter what it's about. We'll pretty much answer any question. And if it's a really short one, we'll do 2 or even 3. Family, relationships, well-being, screens, discipline. Today, we've got a tricky question about kids and body image. If you would like to submit your questions so that we can answer them next time, we've got a really super simple system at happyfamilies.com.au. Just scroll down to podcasts, click the record button and start talking. Alternatively, you can send us a voice note to podcasts at happyfamilies.com.au. Today, an anonymous listener asks this question.
Hi, Dr. Justin and Kylie. I need some help. My nearly 9-year-old daughter has started to repeatedly come home and complain about certain parts of her body and say negative thoughts about her body, questioning, is she pretty enough, skinny enough, etc. And it's very concerning to me. We have done everything we could since she was little to ensure that she felt confident and positive about her body, valuing what her body does rather than what it looks like, although we are in this position now. And I am looking for some advice on how to best navigate these insecurities and questions and hopefully avoid it becoming a bigger issue as she gets older and into her teen years.
And being a mother of 6 girls, this is something that we have experienced with all of our girls in different ways.
Yeah,
and
one way or
different
another.
Times.
Yep.
And it's so tricky. But what we've experienced as we've gone through our family is that it's happening younger and younger.
I would agree with that. When I wrote Misconnection, Why Your Teenage Daughter Hates You, Expects the World and Needs to Talk, Misconnection, which is available online, the chapter that I was most happy with, the chapter where I felt I did the best job, was the chapter in response to this kind of a question. How do we help our daughters with the way that they feel about themselves? You know, girls above the 50th percentile for weight report the greatest body dissatisfaction. 71%, nearly 3/4 of girls who are normal weight report being dissatisfied with their appearance. And the overwhelming majority of girls at every age will tell you, I want this to change. And I hate to say this, but age 9 is right in the middle of this critical window where this stuff really starts to boom. Like I said in the intro, from the age of 5, the data shows that girls are aware of how they look and are starting to talk about wanting to change things.
It's curious to me that we're even really surprised by that data, considering that everywhere they look, any magazine, any billboard,
TV shows, the social media on their parents' phones.
Literally, they've got the personification of the perfect body in front of them every day.
Yeah, so one of the things that I wrote about in my book, and I really think it's worthy of emphasis right now, is everywhere you go, and there are certainly a lot of experts who will argue this, and there's some data to support it as well, so I recognize that what I'm going to say is provocative. everywhere you go, people say, teach your kids media literacy, teach them that it's not real, teach them that there's lighting and there's hair and there's makeup. And I mean, I just think about all the TV appearances that I've done, and I'll walk in 10 minutes before my TV appearance. They'll look at me and maybe pop something on my face. But other than that, I'm in and out, right? And the women who are on the TV, even if it's only for a 5-minute segment, will sometimes spend as much as 2 hours in the chair getting their hair and makeup done. And so the idea is talk about Photoshop and teach kids to be media literate, and that will help. And my pushback against that is, no matter how much you say, here's what they're doing, the kids can understand that logically, but it doesn't stop the emotional and cognitive desire to one day look like that. It doesn't stop the aspiration. Media literacy.
It doesn't matter how many times you tell them that sugar's bad for you, right? You look at a chocolate ad every day.
Right.
It's desirable.
Yeah. So
you want it in your life.
The aspiration is there. I don't think teaching media literacy is the most effective thing. Should it be in the toolkit? Yeah, probably. The evidence suggests so. But let's crack on with a bunch of other solutions.
I think the first one, I love this one. It's so powerful if we can kind of curb our natural reaction to kind of get a little bit frustrated.
Yeah, this is more of a do not rather than a do, right?
Yeah.
Because you want to say to your daughter, what do you mean?
I can't believe you'd say that about yourself. You're gorgeous.
You're so beautiful.
Yeah.
Look at how skinny you are. You're never going to be this skinny again for the rest of your life. Just
appreciate it.
That's right.
You'll never have it again. All those things. But the idea that we would get curious when our kids come to us with their challenges, with their challenging thinking, instead of getting furious.
So as a parent who writes books about this, I struggle so much to do this because I know so much about it, and I just want to jump in and give my kids all the solutions. So let me be really, really, really clear about this. If your daughter comes home, or your son for that matter, but we are talking specifically to this this person who asked the question. If your daughter comes home and says, am I pretty enough? Am I skinny enough? Don't rush in with reassurance, because the most effective response as a first response is going to be curiosity.
But those are all labels as well, right? Everybody's perception is different to what is beautiful, what is skinny, what is fat, what is big.
There is a better response. I just think if our kids were to say it, I would hope that I would step in and say, that's really interesting that you've said that, or that's a really interesting question you've asked me. Where did that come from? What made you think about that today? Why is that on your mind at the moment? And then listen. Don't fix, don't reassure, not yet anyway. Just gather the information. Who was talking about it? What did you notice that made you wonder? Oh, you saw that. Slightly different topic, but one of our daughters said something extremely provocative not too long ago. And I just wanted to say, what are you talking about? I really wanted to blow up because it was not okay. And instead I was like, where'd you come up with that idea? And she said, I walked past a sign when we were walking through town, and it was for one of those adult shops, and it said it on there. And I was like, right, now we've got to have a real conversation. But by getting curious, not furious, by not rushing to reassure, by saying, oh, how did that make you feel?
And not judging the situation, thinking you've got all the details.
Exactly. Body image concerns at age 9 are going to be socially driven, whether it's something from a peer, whether it's comparison in a peer group, whether it's the media planting a seed, and you need to know the source before you can address it. And then you validate. Oh, it sounds like this person, or it sounds like what you saw made you feel like your body wasn't good enough. That must have felt really crummy. That must have felt horrible. I'm so glad you told me. So you're not saying that they're right or wrong. You're saying, oh, here's what it sounds like. Oh, that's what it made you feel. Oh, that's horrible. I'm so glad you told me. That one statement, it just normalizes everything and makes your child go, oh, so everything's okay. And then the last thing to do is to reframe it by saying this. Here's what I know. Your body is doing an incredible job. It lets you run, it lets you dance, it lets you swim, it lets you play. The people who matter most don't care about pretty or skinny. They care about kind and funny and brave and smart, and you are all of those things.
I remember reading somewhere once that other people's opinions are none of our business.
I love that.
And
yeah, your opinion of me is none of my business at all. Yeah.
But the really big kicker for me was the acknowledgement, these people that are saying these bad things about me or mocking me or, kind of giving me a hard time, are they the people that I would go to for advice?
Oh, I love this.
If I was struggling, are they the people that I'd go?
And the answer is invariably no, right?
No. So why is it that if they're not somebody I would go to when I needed help, why is it that they get so much weight in how I feel about myself?
Pardon the pun.
It just...
Yeah, brilliant.
It's really powerful. If we can help our kids to understand that.
Okay, so get curious, not furious, and then have that conversation with them after the break. The two other big ideas that will help as you try to move the needle on body image issues. Stay with us. We're back. It's the Happy Families podcast, answering the question about what to do when your 9-year-old shows up saying, I'm fat, I'm not skinny, I'm not pretty, and has body image concerns.
I love that our listener has acknowledged this is something that she clearly is really doing well. The idea that we would build body functionality awareness for our children, that we would, point out all of the amazing things their body allows them to do, is such an important part of this process.
Yeah, wrote that in my book. I just what can your body do rather than what does your body look like? It matters so much more. Research is pretty clear on this. Girls with what you would call body appreciation, they have better mental health. They engage in less dieting and other destructive habits. They're less likely to use substances as they get older. Like across the board, when we can just appreciate what our body can do, it feels better. Life feels better.
This feels to me like the power of gratitude, right? When I tap into what I'm grateful for, I hold it a little bit closer.
Yeah. So
and if I have gratitude for the amazing gift my physical body is and all the things that it allows me to do, then I'm going to take care of it.
So our 11, soon to be 12-year-old daughter might say, I'm so grateful that my arms and shoulders help me to paddle out in the waves and that my legs let me stand up on a surfboard.
Or that I can hug you.
Yeah, okay. I'm thinking surfing is awesome, but
right,
something
like as simple as that.
Yeah.
When I feel alone, when I feel disconnected,
yep.
The gift of a hug is so powerful.
Yeah, because what this does is it shifts the focus from appearance, the externalities, the judgment-based stuff, to function, right? So it's internal and it's gratitude-based. And the data, again, like I said, it's clear. It reduces body dissatisfaction, specifically in children aged 8 to 12. So trying to move away from looking at how the body appears and instead talking about how it works is just such a big win.
And our last solution? Model it by not talking about it.
Right. Yeah, this is the hardest one. And it's also backed by the strongest research. Here's what daughters absorb from mothers. I'm so sorry to put this on mums, but you know what?
Well, you're their role model.
Yeah, dads can say hurtful things, and daughters will absorb that. And there's data that shows that if your child between 9 and 12 is hearing those hurtful things, they're far more likely to have body image issues and eating challenges in their teens, like 16, 17, 18.
But as a daughter, they're watching the way you treat your own body.
Exactly. So
you're modeling exactly how they will in turn respond.
There was an experimental study that found that when mothers made negative comments about their own weight and shape and diet in front of their 8 to 12-year-old daughters' body esteem and eating attitudes immediately declined. Boom. Daughters and mothers who diet or engage in negative self-talk are more likely to develop poor body image and disordered eating. And mothers' comments about their own bodies predict their daughters' body-related comments. That's what the research points to. So
I remember when I was younger, I had this beautiful body that I never appreciated.
Right.
And I loved junk food and I would eat it till the cows come home. And my mum would constantly say to me, "You'll be sorry you ate that one day. You'll have a bum like me." And as I have grown and gotten older, I have looked in the mirror and seen the bum of my mum and been sad. And it's only been a reframe for me where I have stepped into that gratitude and the acknowledgement that this body has created 6 other human beings. And it has morphed in so many different ways but it has allowed me to live a beautiful, full life. And I want to continue living that beautiful, full life. And if that's what I want, then I need to treat it with care.
Yeah, I just love the way you said that. The research pretty much says that even well-meaning mums who think that they're hiding body dissatisfaction, they're still going to transmit it through subtle behaviors like avoiding certain clothes or declining to be in photos or comparing themselves to others. Kids pick up on everything. So I think the most powerful intervention that you can offer is modeling a neutral, at minimum, but ideally a positive relationship to your body like you've just described. It's just so important. I remember the conversation that we had with the kids one time where I don't remember the exact context, but there was a discussion about your body, and maybe it was you that made a negative comment. Maybe it was one of the kids. And I just said, I didn't marry mum because she looked a certain way. I didn't marry mum for her body. I married...
Oh, let's be real, I was smoking hot back then.
I married you for you. And just because your body changes doesn't mean that my feelings for you change. Kids need to hear that. They need to understand that that's the way it works. I mean, there's so much more we could talk about. This could turn into a 17-hour podcast. We need to wrap it up.
You know, I love that your daughter has come to you and that she's sharing the feelings that she's having and the experience she's having. Like, what a gift.
Yeah, she trusts you.
What a gift.
Doors open. And the other thing that I got from that voice note was our listener is already doing the right thing by taking it seriously, keeping the conversation going. And the things that we've talked about today are going to be some really powerful protective factors against body dissatisfaction. It's almost inevitable, by the way. Like it's pretty much inevitable if you're female, and even more and more boys are struggling with this. But these conversations are the things that can turn it around and make it less damaging, make it less impactful. Thank you so much for listening. If you've got a question for us and you'd like to hit us up with one of those tricky ones, let us know via happyfamilies.com.au, where our super simple system requires you to simply press the button and start talking, or send us a voice note to podcasts@happyfamilies.com.au. The Happy Families podcast is produced by Justin Rulon from Bridge Media. Mim Hammonds provides research, admin, and a whole lot of other support. If you'd like additional information and resources specifically about what we've talked about today, check out the website. We're going to make it a website blog because we think that the information is too important for you to not have access to in the written form. happyfamilies.com.au.